Welcome back to Cutting Stems, the after show, Bachelor edition, Hometowns edition. We are three ladies ready to unpack 4 beautiful hometown dates.
Gorgeous.
Really, I mean,
Fulfilling.
as funny as it is that it feels like there's so much to talk about with this season, every hometown date went so well. There was really not one hiccup. And even if there was a hiccup, it was resolved in 2 seconds.
Well, I guess, I don't know about no hiccups. I kind of felt like Maria's was a bit of a hiccup. I
just felt like her dad, they teased maybe her dad was going to be kind of difficult, and her dad was delightful. Her dad was so sweet.
I would say family-wise.
Family-wise,
experience-wise, everybody was
it was by the book.
Yeah,
there was no difficult family member.
Yeah, I think Maria had the hiccup when she relayed to Joey that she had never brought anybody home before. Mm-hmm. And I think that then made Joey spiral. I think after that point, it was just his head was gone. Yeah. I think that just played very much into his decision going forward from that point on.
I don't know if I agree with that. I felt like the only thing, we can go in order if we want with Maria. Because I feel like the only reason Maria didn't get a rose is because she didn't say I love you. I really feel that.
Right.
I feel if she had said that at the end, even she was he's driving away in the car and she was like, oh shit, I should have said it. Because I feel like he had an okay time with their family. Not any worse or better than Rachel, to be honest. I think that Rachel's family was a little more we don't really trust your vibe so much, and Rachel's been through a lot, so make your decision wisely. And I think if Maria had been a little more her father told her to open herself up all the way, and she didn't. And I think that is ultimately what cost her.
Well, I think it was a whole I think it was a whole list of things. I think it was he heard that, and he even said himself I feel so special, but also can she not get to the point of opening up to somebody for that point? Why is this the first time this is happening? She closes herself off, which was a common theme throughout the hometown, and then she was closing herself off to him because she didn't say I love you. And so I think it I think it raised a lot of flags for him where he was I don't know. I think it made him nervous. He wasn't so confident in their future because he wasn't confident that Maria would be confident in him.
Would open up.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that, Rhea. I think he really was nervous about that. And I think he was I don't want to question every step of the way. Is she gonna be ready for this? Yeah. And that is a lot of pressure. I don't think he wants to be the guy that's the first guy that's being brought home. Yeah. I don't think he wanted that, wants that to be that. I think he wants to be in that kind of relationship.
So then I'll ask, pressure. Do you think if she said at the end, I love you, do you think that, maybe I misread that, do you think that she
I think she still would have gone home.
I think so too. I think his head started spiraling. It was already spiraling because he said to her, you scared me last episode. So I think he was already scared.
Yeah, I thought that was played more of an issue than anything else.
Because I think he would have spiraled more at the rose ceremony when she did pull him aside. I think if he was really more on the fence with it, he would have needed time to
a few more minutes.
I think that could have been played up so much more dramatically, and obviously the show would have loved that. If he, sulked off and was oh my god, this makes my decision so much tougher, I don't know what I want now.
Right.
Instead he walked right back over the rose ceremony and was nope, you're still going home. So
he was fuck it, I'm sticking with my plan. I think it was just a whole list of things that, I mean, to be fair, he's probably thinking, okay, if I'm the first person she's bringing home, she maybe doesn't open up to that many people, and is she only doing it because of the situation we're in? Granted, I do think Maria really likes him. She got emotional about him, but clearly there are some things she doesn't allow herself to fully open up, and her friend was saying that too. She started crying to her friend. But yeah, I think he was. Yeah. I think he was going to send her home regardless.
I guess the way I saw it was, the first domino was her pulling that ultimatum last week. And then her at the last second being like, wait, just kidding, I take it back. That I thought was when he was like, okay, well, what's her deal then? Yeah. And then he comes to the house and he finds out it's a theme that she never opens up. So that's kind of like, all right, this is what's happening. And then her last chance to open up was on his way out, and she still didn't do it then, and that was when it was over. Like, I thought that moment would like sealed the deal.
Yeah, yes. I think like what we're all saying, a lot of things contributed to really leading up to Joey thinking like Maria probably wouldn't be able to get there emotionally to the point that maybe he would want to be in at the end.
I think that I think that
I think he lost confidence in her,
Totally. When we gave her that benefit of the doubt when she came around on it and realized that giving that ultimatum was like not the thing to do. Maybe Joey never really gave her that like chance again. Maybe it's kind of like, okay, well now I've got my eyes up for this because that's crazy. No one else has done that. And they had been getting along so well up until that point.
Yeah. And really, he did have such great dates with all the other girls as well. Honestly, all the hometowns, like we said, as far as family members went, maybe like Rachel's parents gave him a little bit of a hard time compared to everybody else. But like, I mean, Kelsey in New Orleans with her family was so sweet. Like Kelsey seems like just such a sweet soul, and her family all felt that way. And Kelsey's dad, just precious. What a precious man, gem. And very handsome.
Very handsome.
Silver Fox.
Silver Fox, very hot.
The way that he spoke about Kelsey's mom, and that conversation that him and Joey had, like you could just see this look on Joey's face where he was like, I respect this man and everything he's saying to me right now, and really taking it in. And Kelsey was just so cute, and I thought it was really lovely that she let her tears out and she was emotional and spoke about her mom, but then they would laugh and have joyous moments and look at the pictures of her mom and, oh, Joey was so cute. Oh, she was beautiful. Like just really just sweet moments on that hometown date.
They seem like a family who grieves well, if that's, not weird to say. I feel like there are sometimes people, something tragic, terrible happens in their life, and it's hard for them to move past it, move forward, to remember the good moments versus the bad moments. And I feel like their house was just so full of love. And even the joke she made, I was texting this to you guys this morning, the joke she was like, we were on our date and there were butterflies around and I just knew mom was around here and she was trying to get on camera. Like those, referencing personality and making a joke about it. It just was really, really sweet. And I think that hers, I think, was by far the best hometown. Kelsey's was the best in my opinion, by a mile in my eyes. But I really think that the conversation that Joey had with her dad was the most serious out of all the conversations he's had with the dads. And for that reason, I think Kelsey wins. Like that conversation alone, I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was very serious. Louisiana was beautiful.
Yeah.
Stunning. Yeah. Gorgeous.
Yep. Everything looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And the same thing, I mean, Joey's so respectful, right? Like even with Rachel's parents, he was super respectful and they were so happy about that. And they all, came to the date in the backyard, and they went through a lot of their traditions and talking about their heritage and all these like really important things. And I felt like Joey was really receptive to all of it and wanted to participate in everything, and they really respected that. And of course, they are very protective of Rachel because it sounds like Rachel had a bad breakup.
Ask you guys what? So I actually don't think Rachel's hometown went well, and I was surprised she got a rose. I won't lie. Like I thought that
I thought she was, if it wasn't going to be Maria, it was going to be her.
I thought it was going to be her. And then I honestly thought too, when Maria swooped in again at the last second, too fucking late to say anything, I thought that he was going to switch it and Rachel would go home. But I say that only because she was so nervous to go bring him to her parents, which like, sure, of course, anybody's nervous to bring to the parents. Her entire family couldn't even talk about Rachel like being in a relationship without crying. Like every single person was like, she's such a good person. She's been through so much, whatever. Something awful must have happened for them all to act like that. And I don't think I felt from any of them that they were receptive to this at all. Like I felt like they were supportive of her and wanting her to be happy, but I think that they didn't even really like care to get invested in Joey. And I also think that they have their guard up about the whole thing. Like I got like wonderful people, they did not like the vibes of the show.
Yeah,
is what I felt.
I guess you can't you can't really blame them if she was really hurt in the past.
Totally.
They probably don't want to get too close to somebody. Maybe they were really close to this whoever
She
dated
said that.
in the
She said
past.
that was the case.
And they were like, damn, we don't want to get hurt again too.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I will say it did seem like Joey gave the same exact spiel to Rachel, Daisy,
all the
and
dads.
Maria's parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kelsey's felt different and
Agreed.
Granted, different circumstance, and so the conversation was a little different. But the spiel was exactly. I felt like I was just watching the same conversation happen 3 times in a row after that.
100%. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I
agree
did
with
feel that way too when Maria's dad was like, you know, he asked for my blessing, and she was like, oh my God, like, I don't think you're supposed to tell me that. Like, I felt like I was like, I felt like she got herself like really excited.
Yeah.
But he asked
everybody
he's
that.
asked all the dads that. So no, that I definitely felt that too. But I agree. Like, I thought Rachel's family was definitely like, we love Rachel's support her in anything she does. This whole thing, you know, there's 3 girls left, but really all the families were bringing that up. You know, there's still 3 girls left, and which just happens every single time. And then, I mean, Daisy's family, just like,
they were lovely.
if you told me to draw like what Daisy's family was after just seeing Daisy, that it was the exact,
exactly,
like it was exactly as you, like, oh my God, her mom, like, what a precious angel. Her
mom was really
grandparents,
sweet.
Yeah.
her little grandpa, like, just hyping her up, like,
They were
was
the
so
sweetest,
cute.
the sweetest people.
Friggin' college brother in college being like, yeah, college is fun.
Yeah, college is cool.
It was like exactly how I would have expected it to be, and it was really cute. I loved Daisy's dad, like, that when they were just having a serious moment, but then he was like, what's the worst thing that could happen? You lose your hearing? Like,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, that
and
was
they
it.
were like,
Can't go deaf again.
Yeah,
That
they
was
were
hilarious.
laughing.
Like, hilarious.
And that, I thought that, you know, that was very sweet that they were, everybody is taking it seriously, but also like remembering that they're
Having
on TV
fun.
and like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. But it feels like all the families like really did like Joey, and
Totally.
Daisy's
Right.
parents seemed to really like him.
There wasn't any standout person where you're like, whoa, they had, you know, like a brother came in and was like,
No.
I have a problem here.
Yeah.
Or
There was
like
no,
a dad
like,
that
no
was
drama
like,
was
oh, I'm
minimal.
the tough
no
dad.
Joey's uncle.
No.
Right,
Yeah,
no
right.
uncle.
Right.
Yeah.
So true. The thing about Daisy's hometown, which I thought was interesting and also puts her at the bottom of the list for me now, is not because of Joey, but because of something she said. And I think that Daisy is loving this experience, and she was talking with her friends, and she was saying something like, doing this whole experience has just given me the confidence that I needed. Like, I have my new cochlear implant and I wasn't sure how it was going to be well received, and so far I feel great. Joey's making me feel great, whatever. And at one point she goes, and even if we don't end up together, like, I just am so glad to have done this experience, like, done whatever. And I was
She
like,
did say, like,
oh,
he gave
she's
me-
already like,
yeah, he gave me the confidence to date somebody
totally.
else. Which
So I
you're
think
right. That
like
was
there's
kinda
no
like,
way. Yeah.
Why would you even mention that right now?
right.
So as soon as she said that, I was like, that's wonderful. Love that this is what this has done for you, but that's it then. Like, I don't think
like
that
she kind of like slipped up being like,
Totally.
I'm ready to take on the dating world.
100%.
Which, like you said, is awesome.
is great.
And I'm happy for her. But
in this
you're right,
in
the way
this
she
game of
slipped
The
that in
Bachelor,
there.
that puts you at the bottom of my list now.
That's
You've got
true.
a wandering eye all of a sudden.
right,
It's
right.
like, okay, girl. But I mean, and then her family obviously was so nice. And I think that she just was so excited to see her family, and they had so many sweet moments and,
really
you know,
cute.
whatever.
Right. I think
Loved
that was
it.
like
Loved
what
everything.
she needed to, was like to see Joey with her family, and then she obviously she told him she was falling for him, and they had that conversation. So
Yeah.
you know, she's been like one of the slower ones to do that. So that's that was good. And you know, like we said, Maria's family's been great. I mean, freaking editing, man. Like I was like, what's with the mob music behind
Godfather? The
like,
opening was
give me a
just the
break.
Godfather
Like
music.
it was just
Like-
like they're sitting at the table. I'm like,
also,
one, they're Greek.
yeah, I was just gonna say they're
Yeah.
Greek.
Yeah.
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 Where the spaghetti and meatballs on the table, like I thought we were getting some
Yeah,
Italian. I'm
yeah.
like, well, they're Greek.
Where's the
know.
feta cheese and the
Yeah.
tomatoes? It's
So-
ridiculous.
But he seemed very, honestly, like he seemed great. The more my eyes were like going, whoa, because like the more they were showing him and then showing Maria and then showing him and then showing Maria, like they really look alike. Like
They do look. They
like
do
I was
look
like,
just alike.
I was like, wow, I can really see your dad. Like now that I'm looking at Maria's face.
It's-
As
yeah.
soon as her dad popped on the screen, Marty was like, "That's her."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What do you mean that's her?" He goes, "The dad." looks just like her.
Identical.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole family. Even when they showed, like, they opened the show showing her family, and they didn't tell us it was her family just yet. Like, they didn't say her name just yet, but I was like, oh, this is Maria's family. Like, immediately you can tell. But which was fun and interesting.
Nothing like watching, like forcing a date to watch home videos of yourself.
Oh God.
That is one of my favorite pastimes, and I could do it for so long. And the person always loses interest after a while. They're like, okay, we get it. You were really cute and funny and bossy. How many? We're going on hour 2 of home videos.
Cute and funny
I
and
get
bossy.
it. Like, I'm like, come on. I'm like, Joe, come on, watch one more. Look at me.
Look how bossy I was.
Look at me bossing G around. I'm like, look at my 3rd grade dance recital. I'm so bad. Like, but look how cute I am. Like, and they're like, no, great. I've seen it. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
they're
that's
like, Maria's
sick.
like, Joey, look. Oh, like so embarrassing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. She's turning around yelling at her family. She's like, who put this
And
in
also,
here?
like,
It's
her whole
you.
family standing in the windows was kind of weird.
That was so weird. I wish that they just
Yeah.
had them come out. Like, and
I
sit
know. Like,
that.
why
It
didn't
would've
they all
been
just
more
sit around and
fun.
watch it together? Why did they just
Yeah.
stand in
Yeah,
the
that would
window
have been
like
completely
that?
fine.
Yeah.
And then I mean, Maria went home. Really, quite the backdrop for this rose ceremony. Like,
An airplane
private
hangar?
plane.
Is that where they were? Yeah,
they were in an
yeah.
airplane hangar, but they had like the PJ lined up
Super
outside
dramatic.
with the red carpet and
Yeah.
inside the hangar. And God, sometimes I really think about like how much time all of this takes, right? Like when he walked Maria out, and you could kind of see still inside the door. And the 3 girls are still just standing there, you know, they're holding their roses. I'm like, God, how long did they have to like just stand there like in silence,
So long.
until they like get all their shots
Yeah,
and
I
everything's
had the
wrapped
same
and
thought.
like
You have to think too, like where exactly is that airport?
Yeah.
And what's the weather like at that time? You know what
I
I mean?
know,
Because it's
I
just
know.
it's November at this
Yeah.
point. They're filming this. They're
And
getting ready for Christmas.
when they
you know?
all came out
Cold.
of their cars, I was like, oh my God, everybody looks so beautiful. They're in like these gorgeous dresses. But in my head, I was like, you know, they're all in like pretty short heels. You know, like they all look
Yeah.
like they were in pretty sensible heels, like comfortable. And then I was thinking, yeah, they might be standing around for
Yeah,
a
they
while.
might
They
be
need
like-
good. They
Right.
need-
They probably are used to it by now. They're
Yeah.
like, listen, we got to go with the short
We
ones.
got to go
Totally.
with the
Yeah.
cushioned heels here.
Especially if a long dress. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
Who cares?
And you
about
know
the
what?
length?
I was also thinking too, not that it would be like scripted in this way, but when it got down to Rachel and Maria, I was like, we do kind of need Maria for the woman tell all. Like,
So true.
you know, she
know what else?
was in all the drama.
Agreed. And you know what
Also,
else we
like,
need
is-
for you know what else they gave Maria is a Bachelorette edit.
Yeah.
But I hesitate always to be like Bachelorette with these people who, you know, whatever.
did get the Bachelorette
but
edit, for
Maria,
sure.
more than people in the past year or so,
Solely
had
based
more
on
like
screen time too. Like she just
so much screen time.
she
Everyone loved
dominated
her.
the show.
This redemption arc of like all the girls were against her not being able to express her feelings. She's got to, you know, her family wants her to. It's just everything about it spells out Bachelorette. To
Yeah.
me.
Can I ask a question? And I forget. Like,
Child actress.
yes, the women tell all normally comes before or after Fantasy Suites. I thought it was before.
After, because
After?
it goes hometowns, fantasy suites, women tell
Women Tell All
all,
finale?
final rose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they did preview already for
I know for Fantasy Suites.
fantasy suites.
I
they're
guess
gonna
maybe because
travel
a
to
lot of
wherever.
years they've been like combining
Yeah,
or like doing back-to-back nights.
true. And they could
So-
do that too this time.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
usually there's only 2 girls left when
Right,
they do.
right. So
Because
Going
they
into
need all
fantasy
because they
suites.
need the second to last girl as well for a woman tell all to bring on the couch, you know?
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
True. Okay, let's give out some roses. Cut some stems.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh yes.
Coors Light.
So
crisp,
chilly.
cold. I'm
My
honestly
fingers
parched.
froze to the
Yeah,
so cold.
it's a nice click.
Cheers.
Cheers, Kelly. Cheers. Oh man,
Someone
that's nice and cold too.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Ooh.
freezing. Love it. It's the best way.
Okay. Who wants? I feel like this could be a struggle as far as cutting stems go.
Yeah, this
but
might
who
be
wants to go
hard.
first? You, Miss Maria?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't
go
know. I put
girl.
my finger up like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give my rose to Kelsey's dad
Yeah.
Oh, good one.
Love
because I sent
him.
you guys a picture of myself crying.
Yeah.
Watching the show in bed, and it really hit me.
Yeah. What a sweet man.
He
So
was so
sweet,
sweet.
that whole
And
thing.
then I'm gonna cut.
Golden Bachelor.
Right? Right? Oh my God.
God.
Imagine.
Wow.
I would sign up.
Yeah.
gonna cut the fake Italianness of Maria's family. Yeah. And now listen, I understand Greeks and Italians. People get them confused. It's whatever. I'm actually more so blaming like Bachelor production for putting that on them, because I'm sure Maria's dad is probably like, no, I'm Greek. And they're like just playing into it. They're like, we're just gonna make you seem like, and there's Greek mafia.
Yeah. But totally.
I don't know. The pasta and meatballs, they didn't even touch it. They had the peppers.
The pasta and meatballs was crazy, right?
They didn't even eat the pasta and meatballs.
The pasta and meatballs being there is crazy.
Who made the pasta and meatballs? I don't even think
I didn't notice that in real time, but that's crazy. It should have been like, where's the pita? Where's the baba ganoush? Like, exactly. Where's the tzatziki? That's what we need.
Yeah, like, we want a whole lamb on the pasta.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I want a Greek spread.
Like, what's happening here?
Where are the kebabs?
Yep.
No, it's really is insane. Like, that's insane. You're right. Do you feel offended as an Italian that ABC is trying to appropriate your culture on behalf of Maria's family?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And her name's Maria, and it's like
a little too close to home.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Kelly?
I will say, sorry to cut you off. Okay. I will say that we were laughing because I was like, Maria's dad is what people like who don't know my dad would probably picture my dad to be like, and my dad is nothing like that.
No.
My dad is not like a mob. Like people are always like, oh, is your dad in the mob? Like, no, actually not at all. My dad can't keep a secret for his life, so he would not be.
So true.
He's gonna get mad if I said that. I'm kidding.
So true. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
He's like, Maria, I totally could be in the mob.
Yeah. He's gonna start dressing different, acting different now, just to prove that he could in fact be in the mob. Let's see. I'm gonna give my rose to Kelsey. I don't think that I've really ever paid close enough attention to her before now. Maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, I said I really liked their one-on-one date. It was really sweet, whatever. I feel like I've been sleeping on her, and she is just wonderful. Yeah. And I think that their connection feels the most real at this point. And I, coupled with that stuff you guys were telling me about how she's been kind of quiet on social media.
Yeah, and she's been posting, but it's just like not as much.
It's like not that much. Yeah. So I don't know. Something in my soul tells me that they're the real deal, and that hometown date secured it for me. So I'm gonna give her my rose. I think she's crushing it. I'm gonna cut the stem of. This is hard as well. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna cut the stem of the fact that they didn't let Joey, correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't let them go to Hawaii. They were not in Hawaii for Rachel's family hometown. Yeah. They were at her aunt's house, I think probably California somewhere, whatever.
They were in Rancho Cucamonga.
Okay. So, right. So they should 100% have gone to Hawaii. Joey has that Hawaiian connection already. Their family is there. It seems like that was an added layer of pressure.
But I think that's a production thing. Like, I feel like they were just like, we can't, in a week full of flying around the country for hometown dates, like they were probably like, we just can't physically get to Hawaii in time.
I just feel like they should have made it happen.
Yeah,
they should have made that happen.
I agree.
Because
it would have been really nice for it to have been in Hawaii.
For them to like go walk around Hawaii to places that they both know, like it just feels like such a I feel like maybe I would have been a little more, sold on the whole thing if they had gone to Hawaii.
Yeah.
But I am worried about Rachel now. I wasn't worried about her before, but I'm worried about her now based on how her family acted with this whole thing. Mm-hmm. So I worry for her. Like now I'm almost like Joey has to propose to her or let her go right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want her to get let on.
His connection with Daisy and Kelsey just seems like so strong.
I know. And that's what makes me nervous.
I was always getting more like I'm seeing it more because like I had said last week that like Daisy and Joey's like sexual chemistry I felt like maybe wasn't like blowing me out of my shoes,
Then we saw that preview of them making out in the shower.
Yes, that is also a factor.
That was steamy.
And I just feel like as far as like hometowns go and everything, it just feels like Kelsey and Daisy are like here and now like Rachel's kind of fallen back a little bit. We'll see. Did you give your rose?
I did. What did I give it to?
Kelsey.
Oh yeah, Kelsey.
I forgot.
Yes, okay. And then I cut the production not bringing them to Hawaii because I think that Rachel could have gotten a leg up if she got to do that.
Okay, I'm gonna give my rose to. I'm gonna go Daisy's dad/grandpa. Just combo, both of them. I thought they were both sweet, adorable men. Honestly, her whole family was just adorable. Like her mom, just also. just seemed like such a sweet lady.
Totally agree.
And then I'm gonna cut the stem of. I mean, I'm just gonna go with Maria's last ditch effort. You know, her indecisiveness is, at the end of the day, like what cost her staying on the show, and that was just like, you know, she couldn't quite get herself to fully dive into the process, and I think that was ultimately the downfall. Like, I feel like she was constantly like second guessing her own feelings even, and in that case, like, she couldn't get the words out in the hometown, tried to throw it out last minute, and it didn't work. So that's gonna be my stem cut.
Fair enough.
That's extremely fair. Yeah, extremely fair.
And now we're gonna get fantasy suites. We did have some steamy previews. We had Joey telling somebody that he was falling in love with them. So we'll have to wait and tune in to see which of the girls it was. But very excited for fantasy suites.
I am as
very
well.
Excited.
A quick question to both of you. At this point in time, do we feel confident in every move that Joey has made up until this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think the first time I've ever thought that about a Bachelor.
Yeah, I do. And I think he's had a solid season, depending on how it ends. And I'll be honest, I still don't see the connection with Daisy.
Yeah.
I still don't see it.
Yeah. I think it's more friend.
I
think it's a friend connection.
To me,
well, after that thing, after she said, even if we don't end up together, I'm like, well, Daisy's
like,
out.
even with this whole Daisy and this Maria thing, like, I'm like, I still saw, and like I said, I think Joey, all these things added up for him, and that's why he sent Maria home. But the connection between the two of them and the chemistry, to me on the outside looking in, stronger than it was with Daisy. He was doing cartwheels.
Yeah.
Yep.
The man was doing cartwheels.
You don't do cartwheels for nobody.
Do a cartwheel like that.
You don't do cartwheels for nobody.
Fun, so
yeah.
It's a very good point. I think that is fair. So
we shall see.
We shall see, and we'll be back next week for Fantasy Suites. Bye, everybody.